Welcome to CSEGuru. The next topic in C programming is do while loop in C. Already we have discussed the concepts of loop control statements for loop and while loop. Do while loop is the third looping statement in C. The do while loop is otherwise called post test loop, exit control loop, or bottom testing loop. If you're considering the syntax for do while loop, it starts with the keyword do, then within this curly brace, we can specify any number of statements. This is nothing but the body of the loop. And immediately after this exit curly brace, we need to specify the keyword while, and within parentheses, we can specify the loop expression. And the important thing we need to note down here is, here this do while loop will end with a semicolon. This we need to remember. And in do while loop, by default, this body of the loop will execute one time. After execution only, this while loop will test the loop expression. If the loop expression is evaluated to true, means again the body of the loop will execute one more time. And at the end of the body of the loop, again it will test the condition. So whenever the condition is true, the body of the loop will execute one more time. But by default, the first time without checking any condition, the body of the loop will execute. So this is the main difference between for loop, while loop and do while loop. In for loop and while loop, the body of the loop will execute after checking the condition. But in do while loop, the body of the loop will execute by default once, that is first time. After executing once, then only it will check the condition, and if the condition is true, again one more time the body of the loop will execute. So this is the concept of do while loop. Since here, after executing the body of the loop, it checks the condition, it is otherwise called post test loop. And here, entry is not restricted anywhere. Exit is only restricted. Whenever this while loop condition is evaluated to false, it will exit here. It will not allow the body of the loop to execute one more time. So here exit is restricted. Do while loop is otherwise called exit control loop. Since do while loop checks the condition at the bottom of the loop, it is also called bottom testing loop. And here if you are considering, like for loop and while loop, the loop expression plays an important role for every iteration. It will test the loop expression after executing the body of the loop once. So here in do while loop, the minimum number of times the body of the loop execute means that is one time. So after executing the body of the loop once, then for every iteration the loop expression will be tested. If the condition is evaluated to true, the loop executes one more time. After execution, again it will come at the end and it will check the condition. That is a loop expression. If the condition is again evaluated to true, the loop repeats one more time. So this process is similar to for loop and while loop. And if the condition fails, means loop will exit here. It will not allow the body of the loop to execute. So these process and all, it is similar to for loop and while loop. So here, since every iteration is restricted based on the loop condition, it is otherwise called condition controlled loop, like for loop and while loop. So this is the concept of do while loop. Next, syntax for do while loop. Do while loop starts with a keyword do, and then next statement is open curly brace and then close the curly brace. Within this curly brace, we can specify any number of statements. And all the statements must end with a semicolon. So the statement specified within this curly brace represents the body of the loop. Then along with this closed curly brace without any space, we need to start with the keyword while. And then within this parenthesis, we can specify the loop expression. This is nothing but the condition. And this condition will be checked for every iteration after executing the body of the loop once. And here, this statement has to end with a semicolon. In while loop and for loop, it will not end with a semicolon, but the do while loop will end with a semicolon. In do while loop, this body of the loop, by default, it will execute one time. After execution, then only it will check the condition. If the condition is evaluated to true, the loop will allow one more time to execute the body of the loop. And after execution, again it will check the loop expression. So this process continues until the condition is evaluated to true, the body of the loop will execute. At any point of time, when the condition is evaluated to false, means loop will exit here and control will transfer to the next statements in the C code. So this is the syntax for do while loop. And if you are considering the flowchart, first itself, the statement specified within the body of the loop will execute once. And then the expression, that is a loop expression, will be tested. If the expression is evaluated to true, then the body of the loop will execute one more time. After execution, again it will test the loop expression. Again, if the condition is true, one more time the body of the loop will execute. After execution, again it will check the condition. When the loop expression is evaluated to false, means control will transfer to the next statements in the C code and it will not allow this body of the loop to execute. So this is the flowchart for do while loop. Next, if you are considering the example for do while loop, initialization of do while loop done here. So this is required for first time. Then next statement is do keyword, and within the curly brace we have specified two statements. So printf I. So first, by default, I value 1 will be printed. Next, increment the I value. After incrementing, it will check the condition whether this I value is less than or equal to n. If the condition is true, means again one more time the body of the loop will execute. For example, consider n value is equal to 3. So here, if I value gets incremented, means I value is 2. Check the condition 2 less than or equal to 3, condition true. Again, one more time body of the loop will execute and it will print the I value 2. By default, value 1 will be printed. And 2, it will check the condition only when the condition is true, then only the value 2 will be printed. Next, increment I value. If you are incrementing, I will get 3. Check the condition whether 3 is less than or equal to 3. Condition true. Again, it will allow the body of the loop to execute one more time and 3 will be printed with this printf statement. Next, increment I value. If you are incrementing, means I will get 4 now. Check the condition whether 4 less than or equal to 3, condition fails here. And the loop will terminate here and control will transfer to next statement in the C code. And for n is equal to 3, it will print 1, 2, 3. But by default, without checking any condition, 1 will be printed. So this is the logic of this do while loop. So we need to remember the minimum number of times the do while loop will execute here is one time without checking any condition. After executing the first time onwards, the next iteration onwards, for every iteration it will check the condition. Only if the condition is true, it will allow for next iteration. So this is the logic of this do while loop. So in this session, we have discussed the concept of do while loop. In the next session, we will discuss an example to implement do while loop. Thank you for watching this video.